Good afternoon, everyone. I am Kyla Kabatingan and I am with Gizelmi Piazza and Kathleen Jane Baggio. Today we are going to report instructional models in physical education and health. So this report includes an overview of effective teaching strategies in PE and health. So these are our objectives for today's lesson. The first one is introduce key instructional models for physical education and health. The second one is understand the purpose of instructional models in physical education and health. The third one is encourage informed selection of models based on students' needs and learning goals. And the last one is promote reflection on diverse teaching approach. Before we will proceed to our discussion proper, I have here a quote. Physical education is the foundation of a healthy, active life. Every model, every method brings students closer to a lifelong love for movement. From Anon. Before we will proceed, I have here a game called Enjumble Me. Enjumble these letters to form a word and write your answers in any kind of paper. So these are the answers and check your own paper. So now let's start the discussion proper. So an instructional model is a structured framework or approach that guides how teachers organize and deliver their lessons. In education, instructional models are used to ensure lessons are purposeful, efficient, and aligned with learning objectives. They provide a systematic way to design, implement, and evaluate teaching practices to enhance students' learning. These are the different instructional models. The first one is direct instructional model. The second one is sport education model. The third one is teaching games for understanding. The, the next one is personal and social responsibility model. And then fitness education model, inquiry-based learning model, adventure education model, and the last one is health education curriculum model. Direct instructional model. In physical education focus, the teacher-centered approach focusing on developing specific skills with a clear demonstration, guided practices, and immediate feedback. While in health focus, it is useful for teaching factual content such as human anatomy, nutritional guidelines, or safety practices. Sports education model. In P-Focus, it emulates an authentic sports experience with students taking on different roles. Example, player, coach, or referee, and working through a season including playoffs. And in Health Focus, can also incorporate team-based projects such as planning a community health event. Teaching games for understanding or the TGFU. In PE Focus, it emphasizes learning games and tactics through modified small-sided games rather than isolated drills. And in Health Focus, limited application in health but can help in understanding cooperative or competitive behaviors. Personal and social responsibility or the RSPM. In health and In P and Health Focus, it is designed to promote social and emotional learning, responsibility, and respect and personal growth of the students.
So next is fitness educational model. So fitness educational model is a structured way to teach people about physical fitness, health, and well-being. So the examples of fitness educational model is health-related fitness model. So it focuses on health. Another example is skills-related fitness model. So it focuses on improving skills. Another one is adventure education model. Includes outdoor or adventure-based activities like hiking, rock climbing, or team building exercises. Then the last one example is personal fitness program. So personal fitness program, the students design and follow their own fitness plans based on personal goals. Then the next one is the inquiry-based learning model. So inquiry-based learning model, it is an approach that encourages students to learn by asking questions. This promotes critical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving skills. So the examples of inquiry-based learning model, first is ask questions. So learning process begins with a question or problem. The next example is investigate. So investigate, it is research or conduct experiments to gather information about the question. Then the next example is discuss and reflect. So after gathering information, students discuss their finding, often sharing what they learned with others. Then the next example is draw conclusions. So draw conclusions is based sa ilahang research and reflections. So students make conclusions or proposed solutions. Then the last one is apply learning. Then the next one is adventure educational model. So adventure educational model is an approach that focuses on experiential learning through outdoor activities and theme-based challenges. Examples of adventure educational model is outdoor and challenging-based activities. So it uses physical activities, often in nature, such as hiking, rock climbing. The next example is experiential learning. So experiential learning, it is based on the idea that students learn best by doing. The next is reflection and debriefing. So after the activity, there is usually a period of reflection. Students discuss what they learned. The next example is personal and social development. So not just about physical challenges, but also about personal growth and social development. Then the last one examples of adventure education model is real-world application. So real-world application is learned through adventure. Education are designed to be transferable to real-life situations. So the last one is health education curriculum model. So health education curriculum model, it is an approach to teaching students about health, wellness, and making positive choices that supports a healthy lifestyle. So examples of health education curriculum model is physical health. So teaches about the body, exercise, hygiene, and preventing diseases. Then another example is nutrition. So nutrition is focuses on understanding food groups, balanced diets, and how food changes affect the body. The next is mental and emotional health. So it covers stress management. The next example is personal safety and first aid. So personal safety and first aid is avoiding harmful behaviors and basic first aid. Then the last example of health education curriculum model is substance abuse prevention. So substance abuse prevention, it is educate students about the risk of drugs, alcohol, tobacco, as well as how to make healthy choices.
So our next topic is about developing an instructional plan for physical education and health. And for our objectives for this topic is first understand the components of an effective instructional plan. Second is to identify the different parts of the lesson plan. And the third one is to evaluate instructional effectiveness and adaptability. So, to achieve objectives and long term goals, an individual should make a plan. A plan will serve as a guide for any individual to fully understand the nature of the undertaking, set priorities and targets, stay oriented, identify available and required resources, and and foresee possible problems to occur, save time, and fulfill deadlines. So, without proper planning, the risk of not completing the task is possible. And let's go to the definition of lesson plan. So, the definition of lesson plan is a concise summary of the course instruction by the teacher. It is also considered the learning direction of a lesson. So, in lesson planning, there's advantages and disadvantages. So, let's tackle about the advantages of lesson planning. So, it is indeed true that having a lesson plan is beneficial for classroom teachers. The following are the advantages of a lesson plan for teachers. So, first, it promotes self-confidence in the teacher. And the second one is also it helps the teacher keep track of the sequence of the lessons. And the third one is it allows the teacher to reflect and improve his or her teaching for the future. And the fourth one is it keeps teaching matters organized in a time frame. And the fifth one is it helps the teacher to consider the characteristics of pupils in the preparation of activities. The sixth one is it provides an opportunity for the teacher to anticipate possible problems in the execution of the lesson. And the seventh one is it inspires the teacher to formulate and ask relevant questions. And the eighth one is it allows the teacher to collect, create, and utilize appropriate materials for the learning process. And the ninth one, it helps the teacher evaluate the teaching learning process. And also, and the last one, it guides teachers to assess if the learning objective is achieved. And now we're done to the two advantages of planning. So let's go to the disadvantages of lesson planning. So the first one is it does allow the teacher to work independently and it compromises flexibility. And number two, it makes simple matters complicated. And the last one is it allows the possibility of making the teaching process challenging. So, in lesson planning, naakuno yung mga elements. So, a teacher should consider essential elements to ensure that the lesson plan is focused and designed to meet the needs of all children. And the next slide is the following the elements of the lesson plan. So so the first element is the learning objectives. So the learning objectives is the teacher should determine the learning objectives that he or she wants to achieve. And determining the objectives can be done based on the attributes of the pupils and what is stated in the curriculum. In establishing objectives, a teacher should select and rank the concepts based on their importance. So the next element of the lesson plan is the activities. So the activities, these are the learning experiences provided by the teacher. A variety of activities will enable the teacher to have a thorough explanation of the concept being taught, and using different activities can reach a wide range of learning styles. And activities to be prepared and offered to the pupils must be fun, engaging, enjoyable, and related to a real world situation. So the next element is the assessment tool. So assessment is an important part of the lesson for both the teacher and the pupils. This helps teachers identify the process of the progress of the pupils. Appropriate assessment tools must be properly selected by the teacher to evaluate what is needed to be evaluated. And also, assessment can be used by the teachers to determine the strengths and the weaknesses of the teaching process through teachers' reflection. So, let's go to the lesson plan and its parts. So the lesson plan has various parts. Every part corresponds to the different domains to be developed as the presentation of the lesson is being done. So each part is important and must be congruent to each other based on the set objectives. And the next slide is the following that are parts of the lesson plan. So the first the first part of the lesson plan is the objective. So the first step that a teacher should do is identify the learning objectives. The objectives will serve as the roadmap to the teacher on what the pupils must learn and the skills to be developed at the end of the lesson. So the stated objective should be anchored on the three domains that need to be developed. So the three domains is the cognitive, affective, and the psychomotor. So the teacher can use available taxon the teacher can use available taxonomy such as Bloom's taxonomy in creating specific, measurable, and attainable result-oriented and time-bounded objectives. And the next part of lesson plan is the subject matter. So, in this part, it involves the content and concept that the teacher has to present to the class. Other elements of this part include references, materials, and skills stating that references use is important to validate the concept that is involved in the lessons. Furthermore, a teacher must use materials that are appropriate and can motivate the pupils. And so the next part of the lesson plan is the procedure. So in this part, it is considered as the body of the lesson plan. So the subparts of the proce- of the procedures are the following. So first is the preliminary activities. So in this part, diri mag-include ang katong prayer, mga energizer, mga na, and the next one is the review. So, ang review, this part serve as an activity to check if the pupils can recall what they have learned in the past lesson. And the next one is the motivation. So, in this part, where the teacher provides activities that will arouse the pupils' interest or an activity that is connected to the present lesson. So, kaning nga part kay pwede ni siya nga kanang magpa-play siya para naay ano, naay ma naay-hint ang mga bata ug unsay ang inyuhang next nga lesson. Then, and the next one is the presentation. So, in the presentation, the teacher presents a new lesson by stating a linking statement between the motor activity and its relevance to the lesson to be discussed. And the sunod is the discussion. So this is the most essential part of the procedure. It is where the teacher asks quality questions that enable the pupils to come up with the expected concepts. So ara na dira mag-discuss ang teacher sa ilahang lesson nga kanang adlaw. And then the next one is the generalization. So in this part, it is where the pupils give the concepts of the lesson in the form of a statement. Since the entire information gained should be recapitulated and given emphasis, this phase requires critical thought. So, in the generalization, mura ni siya og kanang conclusion ninyo sa kana ninyo nga kanang kana ninyo nga topic kana nga day. Mura siya kanang mura na ninyo kanang ano kanang mura na ninyo reflection or unsa inyong mga nasabtan kana nga lesson kana adlaw. And the next one is the application. So the application is the teacher gives an activity wherein the pupils can apply what they have learned from the lesson. So ari na matest kung naa ba sila nakatunan katong nga pag-discuss nimo sa katong nga lesson. And the next one is the evaluation. So in the evaluation, the teacher gives an assessment based on the concept learned. This is a way of evaluating the progress of children and how much they understood the lesson. Essential information is given to teachers through the use of evaluation. So continuation ra po ni ug unsay nasabtan nila sa lesson. And the last part is the assignment. So in the assignment, it is an activity that pupils need to do after class at their home. And also it aims to help reinforce what they have learned inside the classroom or gather other information beyond what was taught in the class. So dili ra kay ni ang sa assignment di ay kay dili ra kay ni siya sa kana ganing lesson ninyong anak nga day pwede po ni siya nga kanang mag pwede po ni siya nga kanang imo ni diring tagaan sila gihemp ug unsa ang inyong i-discuss the next day or the next discussion ninyo. And that's all for developing an instructional plan for physical education and health.
For our assessment, answer the questions in the link provided, screenshot your scores and send it to the group chat. Thank you all for listening to our discussion for today.